What's up, guys? I'm Stevo. I'm in the Saddle Dome. I'm gonna watch the Calgary Flames versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. I'm back for another report card series video. This time we're doing the Calgary Flames, if you can't tell, because I'm wearing my Calgary merch. And speaking of this Calgary merch, I just want to say quickly two things about Calgary and one thing, two things about the Calgary in general. One thing being this jersey. I really love how they put the provincial flag here on the shoulder and then a Canada flag here on the other shoulder. I've always really loved that about Calgary jerseys, and I think it just, like, I've always liked Calgary jerseys. The amount of times that they've changed them over the years, I've always liked them, so I'm always happy when I get to wear this, for sure. The second thing I want to say, which is completely unrelated to hockey, is the city of Calgary is one of my favorite cities in the world. I've been lucky enough to spend time there. Absolutely love the city. It's beautiful. I would definitely like to live there someday, actually, so I know that has nothing to do with this video, but I wanted to say it. I wanted to show some love for the city. So in these specific videos, if you haven't seen any of the previous ones, I go through the statistics from this season and compare them to last season. Over on this side, you'll see last season's statistics. On this side, you'll see this season's statistics. In green is an improvement. In red is not an improvement. And in Calgary's case, there's a lot of red, as you can see. After that, after I go through all those statistics, I'm going to go through some of the player stats, and I'm going to talk about some goalies, and then some talking points or some storylines from the season that I felt impacted their season positively or negatively. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into this. League rank last year, they were 15th. This year, 20th. Points last year, 94. This year, 84. Goals for last year, 222. This year, 216. Goals for rank last year, 17th. This year, 28th. Goals against last year, 219. This year, 243. Goals against rank last year, 14th. This year, 19th. Differential last year was a +5. This year, it's a -30. Differential rank last year was 16th. This year, it's 23rd, sorry. Power play percentage last year was 20.2. This year it's 16%. Power play rank last year was 10th. This year 29th, almost bottom of the league. Penalty kill last year was 81.6%. Penalty kill this year 81.8%. In that category they ranked 12th last year. This year they ranked 7th. Shots per game last year 29.1. This year 33.6 shots per game. 24th was the rank last year for that category. 6th was the rank this year. Shots against per game last year was 28.7. This year 31.1. Last year they ranked 8th. This year they ranked 10th in that category. And in the last category, faceoffs, 48.9% last year, 49.4% this year, and they remained the 19th place team in both last year and this year for that category. If we move on to the specific players, Gaudreau had 84 points, Monahan had 64, Tkachuk had 49, Backlund had 45, Hamilton had 44, Ferland had 41, Giordano had 38, Brody had 32, Bennett had 26, Jankowski had 25, Frolik had 25, and Brouwer had 22. Goalies, Mike Smith played 55 games. He had 25 wins, 22 losses, 2.65 goals against average, .916 save percentage. Gillies, 11 games played, 3 wins, 5 losses, 2.88 goals against average, and a .896 save percentage. So this year was the first year that it felt like Calgary had an actual solidified goaltender. Last year they kind of went through the reins a little bit with Elliott. That experiment didn't really work, and it feels like every year before that, up until when Kiprusoff left, they've always had goaltending question marks. This year felt like the first year that they actually had a #1 goaltender, an accredited good goaltender, and he didn't play too bad. He didn't get a lot of help from the rest of his team, but there were games where Mike Smith completely kept Calgary in the game, and his numbers aren't bad. There's 2.65 goals against average, .916 save percentage, those aren't bad numbers. They're pretty much league average numbers. He has more wins than losses. He was one of the best players on the team. So I don't fault Mike Smith for the position that they're in this year. And that position is out of the playoffs, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I do like Calgary. Not my favorite team, obviously, but I do like them. You could sense frustration with Mike Smith. You could sense frustration from Mike Smith pretty much every year he's played, because he's played quite a bit of time in Arizona. He spent some time in Tampa as well, but he seemed a little more frustrated at the little things this year than normal, and little things not like puck luck and stuff, but little things like being screened by his own defenseman, or it's just at his own team is basically what I'm saying. It seemed to be a little bit of conflict between the defensive core and him, and I don't know if that was a mentoring thing, because he's an older guy, and older goalies like to mentor the defense in front of them, like Lundqvist. Very communicative. So it could have just been a mentoring thing, but it came across with me watching on TV as very aggressive. But that's his personality. He's a very straightforward type of player. He doesn't take no BS. He did suffer some injuries. Luckily, they weren't too serious. I really do believe that Mike Smith is the right decision for Calgary. I know he's on the older side, but I do believe he's the right decision. I hope that he has a bounce back year next year, stays completely healthy, and I really do believe that Calgary is a team that's right on the cusp of doing something great. They just need just a couple pieces. They're a very streaky team, very, very streaky. They started a little slow, and then they got hot, and then they got slow, and then they got hot, and then they got slow, and so on and so on. And we kind of saw this last year. Their coach blew up at them, I think around February last year. And then they went on this amazing run, made the playoffs, and it kind of happened again this year. He lost his marbles. He threw a stick during a practice, he threw a stick into the seats. There was lots of controversy there. I'm wondering if that kind of attitude has a backlash towards him, not from the media, not from us hockey fans, but from his players. It doesn't feel like he's a player's coach. Like Gerard Gallant is a player's coach. Do you think the players want to perform for a coach when he pulls crap like that? Like I remember playing hockey and having specific coaches that would get angry like that and break stuff, and it's like, man, I don't want to perform for you if you're going to act like a child and break stuff. Like, no. But then again, I'm very stubborn, so I don't know. Some people respond to different types of coaching, so I don't necessarily agree with that style. Mike Yeo kind of has his freakouts as well, and that's gotten him into a little bit of trouble, but sometimes it's effective, so that's why they do it. So anyways, I'm not here to judge, I'm just giving my opinion. Bennett struggles. I feel like he continues to struggle. I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. I would like to see them hold on to him and retain him for longer. It's going to take certain players longer to develop than others. That's just how it goes. The Brouwer contract and production, I really felt he was a very crucial part of St. Louis when he was there. He did a lot of important things in the regular season, a ton of important things in the playoffs. He was such a playoff performer. And then he left, and he has really just not looked like the same player whatsoever in Calgary. I know they're utilizing him a little differently, but he just has not looked like the same player. That's very unfortunate. I don't know what they're going to do with that contract or him. I'm not sure, but no significant improvements in any category. I think their biggest improvement was shots per game, and it's not really an important stat. It's good that you have that improvement, but it's not really that important of a stat. I feel like their top six, they have such crucial, important pieces in their top six, but I feel like there's players in the top six who are bottom six players. If they can, I feel like they're a deep team, but at the same time, their top six is not deep. It's not where it needs to be. So if they get those true top six players, if they just add just a couple of those true top six players, I really feel like they could be a dangerous team, because I do like most of their bottom six. they have a lot of offensive help on the back end. You have players like Hamilton, Brody, and Giordano. If we look at the points back up here again, Hamilton had 44 points, Giordano had 38, Brody had 32, all in the top 10 in points. They have a really active defensive core, which I like to see. That's one of the reasons why I like to watch Nashville so much, is because they're so quick on the back end. They contribute so offensively on the back end. It's exciting. So Calgary's a team that I not only like, but I really like watching as well. But they are a very frustrating team. Very frustrating team to watch. They're so streaky. Defensively, they give away the puck so much. Not a great neutral zone team sometimes. So, like I said, very frustrating to watch. I think that, like I said, they're on the cusp. I feel like they could be in a similar position as this year, but more so last year, the previous year. So, right, maybe in a wild card spot, maybe in the third position in the Pacific, something like that. That's kind of where I see them next year. If they can make some important decisions off of the ice this offseason, I think that's where they'll be. So if you're a Flames fan, in my personal opinion, there's nothing to be worried about, but there's lots to be excited about. And I think the future is definitely bright. There's a lot of young players in Calgary that are going to do some pretty special things, I think, in the future. So it's exciting just specifically watching Johnny Gaudreau, an absolute magician with the puck, a brilliant player. So thanks, guys, for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Next on the list is Dallas, and I'll be filming that right after this video. That'll be coming soon to you guys. So if you like these videos and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, and so you can catch all future videos. If you did like this video, please hit the like button down below. That helps us a lot as well. And I'll catch you in that next video. Adios.